Hi, Barbara. Let me first answer your question. If this is the way you want your logo set up, what it was designed to do, this top bar area is set to a maximum height of about 100 pixels. And what it's designed to do is have your logo tagline and your menu bar all on one line, right? If you have something pushed over, like we have the all this information here. Now I'm just going to see if this is what is this one logo? I'm just going to put this in thing here. So the width is 400, the height is 146. Okay, and what I think we could do is we could even trim that down a little bit, make it 100 pixels even. Okay, and then you won't get this duplication going on here. And then if we could get rid of the auction systems text and the this here, anyways, as a suggestion, if we can put this, the fundraising is essential, the auction systems and the logo, if we can put it all into one image, that's one option. I can do that for you if you want. And then that way it will make it a maximum height of 100 pixels, but you may want to have all these things here and that go across. If that's the case, what I'm actually going to suggest we do is probably see if we can put it into its own separate bar, right? So we don't have the duplication of the menu, because what happens is this is called a clone. Okay, here's your menu, here's your logo, all this stuff here. As we scroll down the page, there's a script that actually clones it, so a second instance of it can come up, and then we can target that instance and make it react a little differently. As you see here, the button's a little bit taller, a little more space. As we scroll down, when I hover over, it's a little tighter. Not much, but it's a little. Okay. Anyways, it's the clone that we're seeing right here. And the clone is adjusted by playing with the menubar.css. Let me just open your site up in the editor here, or get a copy of one. Anyways, right here, menubar.css. Okay, if we scroll right down to the bottom, this is where the cloning takes place. Right down here, header-hesive, it's called, specific styles. And basically the height we need to change to maybe up to 100 pixels for each. So 65 changes to 100, 100, and 100. And that'll give you a little bit more breathing room with your logo. But like I said, we could take your logo and take all that stuff together. And I know Chris did one for you. We could even take it, maybe add those other pieces in there, your taglines and whatnot, because they're sort of reaching straight across the page there. Right, so they're sort of like, here's a graphic logo. I didn't know if you still wanted this and this information right here. That's what I was saying. If we got rid of this here and just went with a graphic logo, most likely all the rest of the pieces would sort of fall into place. But we'll just need to, I think we can just, let's see how. Oh, I see. It's the top one coming over the bottom one. I see what's going on here. Yeah, actually we can resize that to 100. There. And, yeah, anyways, I'm talking to myself here. I was just trying to give you a couple of ideas. I would probably resize the logo a little bit more, get it down to 100 pixels in height, and that'll help things out as well. But right over here is the major culprit. We have the tagline sort of intruding into and over right into the menu. What I might suggest if you want to do that is we take the auction systems and the tagline, we bundle those together and make one sort of thing or one component as opposed to two separate, maybe one over above the other, and then the menu bar will slide back into place. Instead of being split down the middle and having this duplication, right? Because the menu bar is supposed to be up here, but it's being pushed down, and then the clone is showing up here, right? So to answer your question about the row inner, it's actually just a CSS target, right? And it's just something we did to for all of the templates. So if we ever want to have a row but target something within the row itself, let me just see if I can actually pull up the structure here. I think you sort of figured it out here. Okay, so in the page, I'll explain what you may be seeing here. We have a section, okay, and that basically defines the overall, that's a maximum width, right? And then we have other classes in here. We have a section inner, a wrapper, a container, and a row and an inner. And what that simply does is it allows us to use multiple background images, gradients, or things like that within a certain area of the page. And they're not always used, but the structure is there in case you ever need to modify it. And it makes a nice, easy way for us to help you out get that done. But the container, that is a Bootstrap style that keeps the content of the page to a maximum width of 1170 pixels on desktop, and then sort of shrinks it down to 100% or whatnot on tablets and mobile. And the row is the class that allows the columns to function correctly. Okay, so wherever you have columns, you want to have them wrapped in a row. So that's why that is always there, and we always put that sort of at the top. So then if you add more columns down below, it's automatically going to be in a row. And of course the inner allows us to do additional targeting to the row, right? And usually we would see that either in the backgrounds. We may put something in here where you see like we have a section 1 and then a section inner. And you see the section inner, we can target certain graphics, right? And that's really all there is to it. There's a section 2, right? And then we have a section 2 with a different, section inner or different styles and whatnot that sort of target. Here's an example, a section 2 inner. We can add additional padding if that particular section in the page requires it. And there's a parallax section, once again using, we're targeting an additional class, and then we're putting up an additional padding and a gradient within that. So really all it is, it's style markup. It allows us to target different wrappers, right? So we have section 1 here, for example, and we may have a section 2 lower in the page, or well, maybe not. In this case we have a footer or a copyright, and then we can sort of say, the row within the footer, or the class of row inner within the footer, we want to do different things through CSS. I hope that explained it.